back to episode 67 of the Purple Rain podcast. Much like my lights, purple. We are back. It's been a while, and so much stuff has happened since we were last live. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Oh my gracious. But before, you know where you can find us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. You know where you can find this man on Instagram and Twitter at Undef. You can find me on Instagram simply as10.prod and on Twitter at simply as10prod.
Still gotta fix that.
Yeah, it's all good.
Still gotta change it in there. Simply as10prod. Yeah, fingers crossed.
You know, it's on site with Barstool. But it's the Ben Bredesen episode. It is. And a lot, like I said, has happened. But, you know, housekeeping comes first. So let's get into it.
Of course. As you guys know, as Alex already pointed out, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Also, if you like to listen to your podcast on all the, the cool and the latest podcast streaming sites, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of those things, you can do that as well. We're available on there too. This episode will be available by tomorrow from the time that we're recording it. And that is a promise. Now, look, we also have the live chat going crazy right now, too. Let's see which members of the Rain Gang are in the building. I see we got our guy Darius, the official, in the building. Says Rain Gang, what's good, bro? Mod Rush in the building. What's up, Mod Rush? We appreciate you for coming through, joining the stream tonight. Mallow226, what up, Rain Gang? Oh, my, look who we got. Look who we got. Mod K-Dog, man, the true Purple Rain pioneer. Says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang family, on this Friday Eve? I know that's right, man. Hope you guys had a good week. We're going into the weekend. Hope it's a good weekend, too. Let's see. Chris Reed in the building. What's up, Chris? Taquan Christian. Unknown Goat. Let's see. Don C. Thank you for coming through, my man. Says, what's up, guys? What's up, man?
What's up,
Dylan's in the house. What's up, Dylan? The Pointful. Dan Wolf in the house as well. Shout out to all you guys.
The GOAT Dan Wolf.
Duvernay Dan in the house. We appreciate all of you guys for coming through to episode 67 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Alex, it's been a while since we talked. How have you been, my man?
Good, life just comes in and kicks us down a couple of times, got some stuff going on and, the YouTube stuff and behind the scenes stuff. But how are you doing?
Man, same. Life, sometimes comes around, gives you a nice little kick in the ass every once and again,
Yes. Hey, you cursed first. That has to be a record. That has to be a record.
Right. We're starting early tonight. But yeah, man, things have been good. But what's even better is that the Purple Rain Podcast is back and in full effect, and the season is so close. We're already through 2 preseason games. We only have one more because, we're only doing 3 this year because we're doing the longer season during the regular season. And the Ravens are 2-0 so far, so that's good. The last game against the Panthers, it was looking a little bit shaky at first, but we ended up pulling ahead, once the second and the third stringer started to come in, we started to kind of pull ahead. But I just kind of wanted to... We'll get into that a little bit later, the preseason game, because, we've been talking about that. That happened about 3-4 days ago. But I think the most pressing news from today was the whole Shaun Wade being traded situation.
Out of nowhere.
Would I be correct in that? Yeah.
Yeah, there was no, rumblings. Jeff Zrebeck actually reported it, and then about 30 minutes later, he got traded. So it was kind of weird. There's a lot of backlash, I'd say, on the social media, but I'll be honest, it really didn't affect me that much.
Really. So just so you guys know, for those of you guys who don't know, the compensation that the Ravens received from the New England Patriots for Shaun Wade was a 5th rounder in next year's draft and a 7th rounder in the 2023 draft. So pretty decent compensation for a 5th round pick. Now, listen, man, I don't know exactly whether or not I like this trade or I love it. I would probably say that I like it because it's there's 2 sides to it, right? It's not all good. So the Ravens, they do get compensation for a player they probably weren't going to keep anyway, since we are pretty stacked at DB right now. I get that. But at the same time, I just don't understand because cornerback is the one position where we see every single year our guys get depleted as the season goes on. And by the time it's week 13, 14, we're bringing guys up that normally just aren't in the rotation and they're just not getting it done.
The Browns game, we had Devontae Harris playing. We had Levine playing at defensive back. And I even looked it up. In week 16 against the Giants, Tramon Williams, 37 years old, played 55 snaps. He was corner 2 that game.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just like you said. I keep thinking back to that Browns game from last year, the second one, that is, and Devontae just getting torched. You know, they were just destroying our secondary, man. It was just bad. Like they were purposely going after our secondary. So depth is very important to say the least, especially in a year where this is going to be the longest NFL season ever, ever.
And we play
So
some
depth,
passing offenses too.
yeah, we do. We do. Yeah, let's talk about that too. We play a lot of good passing offenses, aka
We
the
do.
Chiefs. Who else is there? We've got to
I
play the
mean,
Chargers. We've got
we
who
got to play the
else?
Rams. I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't look like that. Now they're just down 2 running backs already. They're going to be passing a lot more. The Steelers 2 times a year. I mean,
Yeah.
Even the Vikings, depending how Dalvin Cook is, they'll run it, but they're not scared to just let it fly sometimes too. The Chargers with Justin Herbert. So it's big to have a ton of corners. And let me just kind of give those who are upset about the trade just some insight.
Okay.
We drafted Shaun Wade to be our slot corner. In the preseason, let's just talk about his snap counts in the slot. He's had 2. He's played in the slot 2 plays in 2 games. So has Nigel Warrior and Deshaun Elliott. So that right there maybe leads me to believe he wasn't looking good in camp, and he just wasn't a fit in the slot. Brandon Stevens had 36 snaps, Darius Washington 25, Anthony Averett 13. So that's 3 guys ahead of him. Is it really possible he could just jump those 3 guys in one game? It's not happening. So after I saw this, I'm like, okay, I get it. But it still hurts because I was really high on him out of college and still am high on him. Best luck to him in New England, though.
Absolutely. Best of luck to him in New England. We do hope he balls out there, of course. For me, the whole Shaun Wade getting traded thing, like I said, I did like it because we got something for what could have been nothing, you know, like he could have went to waivers and, you know, somebody could have claimed him off of there. And then we would have had no compensation for our 5th round pick from this past, you know, draft. But I don't know, man. It's really hard to say right now because we really don't know what's going to happen throughout the course of the season. What guys are going to get hurt? What guys are going to be, you know, healthy going into those later weeks? But I don't know. I think they made the right choice at the end of the day. You think?
Yeah, and let's just be honest. That 5th round pick we got for next year, well, in 2023, we're probably going to trade that for an All-Pro coming up. I mean, we've done it the past couple of years. And then also we have Jake Verity, who we're probably going to trade too. So I'm kind of waiting to see what we could possibly get for him. I would hope a 5th or a 6th round pick, but at the end of the day, there's 2 or 3, maybe 4 people ahead of Shaun Wade, and he was going to just get cut. So we at least got something.
Right. We got something. Now let's see what the Rain Gang has to say about this whole Shaun Wade getting traded thing. Ron TV, what's up, Ron? He says Ravens legend Shaun Wade. Yeah, man, I wish we could have got to see him, you know, a little bit more in action with us, but let's see. Our guy KLA Sports, shout out to KLA, chimes in, says, I'm actually upset because I wanted to see him grow and become our slot corner. I felt Tavon's time was up and Wade was going to be the slot, but we have a deep secondary and we got decent compensation for him. Yeah.
Yeah, you still have to believe that, like, Tavon Young is injury prone, is the definition of it. I'm a huge fan of him. I thought this was drafted to maybe be his successor, the guy who's going to step in when he eventually does get hurt this year. But the Ravens said, nope, that's not going to happen. So we have guys behind him. I'm looking closely now at Darius Washington and then Nigel Warrior, Anthony Averett. So we'll see, but I just don't want Marlon Humphrey in the slot. He is paid way too much money to be playing in the slot. So please, anybody but Marlon in the slot, unless it's just dire need.
Right. Agree. And you know what else this move tells me is that the Ravens coaching staff and their front office and everybody in that building has pretty good confidence in the health of Tavon Young and Jimmy Smith for that matter. You know, and just them staying healthy, because if those guys can stay healthy on top of course, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters, that secondary will be dangerous. But like we said, again, this is going to be the longest NFL season in history. So, and history tells us about the Ravens that our secondary tends to get banged up throughout the regular season. So, you know, depth is going to be a very, very interesting thing to keep our eye on as the season wears on. So we'll really get to know. Yeah.
When it's healthy in the playoffs. I mean, did the Bills really beat us in the air that much? That's all they could do. They scored on one of our blunders of the game, but they only scored 10 points on our defense.
Right.
So when it's healthy, it shuts you down. And we saw in Tennessee, after we put Jimmy Smith on A.J. Brown, they really couldn't get anything going at all. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Let's see. We have our first super chat donation. This one's coming in from the Joker.
Oh,
811 pulling up
Joker.
from downtown from the
Joker.
logo. Big shout out to Joker, man. Big shout out to Joker in a lot of different ways too. The Joker's always, he's always on these social medias. He's reaching out to you and I, with anything, just football, life stuff. And we appreciate you, man, so much. He says, "Hey, simply, I hope to see you Sunday. #Rain Gang W."
Yeah, going to the Hollywood Brown signing at the Maryland State Fair. I think
Nice.
Ben Cleveland's going to be there. Dalen Hayes is going to be there. Brandon Stevens, a couple of people. But I'm going to get my Hollywood jersey signed. Cannot wait.
Yeah, make sure you get some pics, man. Make sure you get some pics. Definitely want to see that. But thank you so much, the Joker. We appreciate you so much. The Joker from half court.
From deep.
Absolutely. By the way, guys, real quick. Those of you guys who aren't watching the live stream right now, you're watching the replay and you're part of the #replay gang. Shout out to you. Big shout out to you. And thank you for joining the episode. And make sure you leave your comments down below and we will get to those as well. Let's see. What else we have from you guys? Milo226 chimes in and says, "I think we could have used Anthony Averett. Should have been the one traded. He is coming up on his final year." Your thoughts, Alex?
I'm a big Averett fan, so I'm a little bit biased. I think he's definitely looked at under a microscope by Ravens fans because he doesn't make those big plays. And he gets picked on. His issue is that it'll be thrown his way and he'll have great coverage, but he just can't get the pass breakup or the receiver makes a really good catch.
Yeah.
So if we were to trade him, we could get something good, but I would like to keep him just because of this, how depleted our secondary gets. Because I'd rather have him out there at cornerback than Anthony Levine. It's going to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see. We got our guy, Adit Mahmood. Shout out to him. Chiming in here. Says, "We have 10 picks this year, and we have to pay Lamar, Mark, and more. I keep going back to DaCosta saying that he wants many picks to essentially balance out the massive pay raises that are coming." And I think this is a very good point here that our guy, Adit Mahmood, is making. And actually, there's a tweet put out by Jonas Schaefer earlier that I want to read back to you guys. All the picks that we're going to have in next year's draft. So the Ravens have a first-round pick. They have a second-round pick. They have 2 third-round picks. 4 fourth-rounders. 4 fourth-round picks. Yeah. We have a 5th-round pick and a 7th-round pick. That is a lot of draft picks next season in a draft that is apparently going to be pretty deep, according to Jonas Schaefer. So don't be surprised if we hit big, we hit gold in next year's draft, especially in that 4th round, because you can find a lot of good talent in the 4th round, especially in a deep draft class. So with that being said,
Tylan Wallace in the 4th round, right?
I believe it was the 4th round. We got Tylan Wallace. Yeah. But with that being said, though,
we have 2/3 too. So
we have 2/3. Yeah, we do. Yeah, 2/3. One was the comp pick for Cully. But yeah, man, I think with that being said, though, all these draft picks, we can definitely see what DaCosta is trying to do. Stockpile on these draft picks. Make sure we have cheap labor going forward because, Lamar and Mark Andrews are not going to be cheap. We know that. The rest of the league knows that. Everybody knows that. So we're going to have to find talent elsewhere. We're going to have to find cheaper talent through the draft. Now, another thing is, people say the cap is cap and all this other stuff about, the Chiefs and the Bills and all these other teams. They make it happen regardless of the money situation and what it looks like. But for us, it's just not like that. And it just seems like
they have players who restructured. I mean, Mahomes restructured, Kelsey restructured. People forget about that. Mahomes took a really weird restructure. Look what the Saints did with Taysom Hill to free up cap. You have to. It's also on the players if they're willing to too. And maybe there's some players in the Ravens who aren't willing to restructure, which you can't really blame them for that.
Yeah, and we do have another super chat donation coming in from our guy Jabari Cruz Ellis. Thank you so much, man, for joining the show and for donating. We appreciate you so much. He said this man had 1st-round talent. I guess Sean Wade, that is. If his 2020 season in college was better, he would have been drafted way higher. Those other guys that we kept better start making plays. Yeah,
I think it's because they moved him to the outside corner and he got burnt. I think he was the 1st-round talent in the slot, which is why I was excited for him. But I have to agree with you. I want to see more from Westry. More from Stevens, more from Washington. I mean, I think Stone could get cut, even though we had 2 picks.
Yeah.
I think Washington and Warrior are above him right now because Warrior looked really good last game too.
How do you feel about Westry?
I like him. Except the taunting play. He got
Mm,
hit once in the Panthers game, but after that, he was pretty good.
yeah. I remember it was one highlight in the Panthers game where it was actually Terrace Marshall who had beat him
Yep,
deep
that's the
up
one.
up the
That was
sideline.
the
And
only play he got beat.
yeah, and I didn't really like what I saw from him on that play. It just wasn't physical enough for me. I think that, with a guy like Terrace Marshall, somebody who can, take the top off of the defense, it's kind of like a jack of all trades on offense.
We've
Remember,
talked about him a lot.
we've talked about him a lot leading up to the draft. We wanted him low key, high key. But
Yeah.
I think you got to be physical with guys like that at the line of scrimmage, at least for the first 5 yards. That's what Marlon Humphrey does. That's what really separates him from a lot of other corners. He's so physical, plays like a linebacker almost, and you need that, especially against these younger guys too. So, Chris Westry, we'll continue to monitor him, see where he's at. How do you feel about Ardarius Washington, though?
Like what I've seen from him too. Even in the Saints game, I think he had that fumble recovery and just fell on it. I mean, when you're undrafted, you try to make all these plays to make the team, but in the end, he was just doing fundamental football, which you got to. I think it's crazy that our undrafted players are going to get above like our fifth rounders. That goes to show you how great the scouting of the Ravens is when it comes to undrafted free agents. I mean, I know
Right.
Ardarius, I think he was like one of the top players after the fifth round and he just didn't get picked. We got lucky, but that's just kind of a credit to our scouts for finding these players. And even I'll go on, even Tyson Williams and Nate McCrary are running backs. They look really, really good, and Justice Hill better watch out.
Yeah, you definitely should watch out because I definitely saw footage from Tyson Williams and McCrary as well. They look pretty decent.
Yeah,
Out there. I watched some of your videos on them actually. Big shout out to Simply AS10. Make sure you guys
thank
go
you.
ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. As you guys already know, man, there's gonna be highlights coming out all
Oh,
season
yeah.
long. So make sure you stay
Can't wait.
locked in to Simply AS10. Now let's see. Gonna go ahead and move forward here. Blue Toe Jam chiming in, joining the stream tonight, joining the discussion. Thank you so much. I don't think I've seen you around these parts before. Welcome.
I was just talking to
Welcome
Blue
to the
and
Rain
Hollywood
Gang.
Brown's Twitch stream, so
Oh,
thank you for
wow.
coming
Well,
through.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Says, seems every year there's a surprise cut when getting down to 53 men. Who do you think might be a surprise cut this year?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
I think it could be Trace McSorley.
That's a hot take there,
I
Alex.
think it could. I think it could.
Trace McSorley, why? Elaborate.
I think, I'll just speak from what I saw in the game against the Saints. He looked like he had the quarterback too wrapped up and looked like he wasn't trying. I know that he hurt his back from lifting up something. Then just tell them that you're hurt. He did not look good whatsoever. He was throwing some ducks. He missed Crochet on a deep pass. I just didn't like what I saw from him. And I think Kenji Bahar, there's a reason why we signed him again to back up when he got hurt. And also go with Anthony Levine. I think we have so many defensive backs, and the EDC has talked about getting younger and younger. He unfortunately doesn't fit that bill. But I think special team saves him now, especially with LJ Fort getting hurt. So those are my two. I'll go Levine or McSorley.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see what else we have here from you guys. All right. So you brought up LJ Fort. That is an elephant in the room that we have not addressed just yet, but we can do it now. We can go ahead and segue into this, talking about LJ Fort, not only just LJ Fort, but just all the injuries, the injury bug that seems to be in the facility of the Baltimore Ravens. But first, of course, LJ Fort, it did come out just a couple of days ago that he did tear his ACL and he will be out for the entire season, which is tragic news. Very tragic news for Ravens fans, for LJ Fort, for, all prayers up to LJ Fort. He's definitely, he's a friend of the show, essentially, and we appreciate him and everything. But damn, it really sucks, man. Fan favorite as well.
I haven't heard one Ravens fan who just doesn't like LJ Fort. He does what he does really well, and he's really good on special teams, which I think a lot of fans are forgetting about. Because special teams
very,
is
very
one
good
thing that
instincts.
Yeah. I just think people just forget about the special teams aspect. And he was out there playing a whole half. I know the first game, just kind of helped guiding people around, guiding Christian Welch around, guiding Chris Board around. So I'm kind of like, where are we at now? What should we do? Do you think we should sign somebody, or should we just roll with what we have?
Man, I think that we should probably just. I think we should probably just roll with what we have for now. Like I think that our young guys are showing a lot of promise. I like what I've seen from Patrick Queen in terms of his instincts. He had a couple of really, really good plays
Mm-hmm.
against the Panthers. Just very instinctive plays that you love to see from your LB1, your middle linebacker one, or inside linebacker, and then also from Malik Harrison. His instincts are really good too, and he is
Oh, he's
so
looked so good.
powerful. He
He's
looks so
looked
good.
really good.
You talk about he's tackling guys and just stopping running backs in their tracks, knocking them backwards. Like he is not to be reckoned
And
with at all.
and
Like
linemen too, it feels like. Just blowing up
yeah,
anybody. There was a
blowing
clip
up
from that
anyone,
training
man.
camp. That was
Yeah,
mm,
anyone can get it when it comes to Malik Harrison and even Patrick Queen too, man. Those guys are dogs, and I can't wait to see what they have to offer this season. Of course, we've still got guys like who else do we have behind board and uh
Christian Welch.
yeah, right, yeah, it wasn't off the top of my head, but
Christian Welch's fruit snacks.
yeah.
That's what I'm calling
So
him.
well, it's just fruit snacks. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that we may be able to get somebody else in there just to, kind of have another rotational player, rotational piece. But I think we should be good with the guys that we have right now. And I think that next season we might actually look into drafting more guys with all those draft picks that we have,
Yeah.
more linebacker. But what do you think, though?
I'm honestly, I'm on the fence because I wouldn't mind a KJ Wright. I think he'd be too much money. Then again, I saw people talking about Patrick Owasso, who, when he was given the starting role, let's just be honest, he was ass. He couldn't hit a hole, him or Kenny Young. But at the same time, when he played as a non-starter, when it was Mosley as the lead, he was doing pretty good. Um, I just don't. I don't trust that gap. There's just a big drop off between Queen Harrison, then you got Board Welch. It's like Board then Welch,
Yeah.
and we rely on our linebackers a lot. Sometimes it feels like Fort would be in there. I just don't know. I'm not too sure what we'll actually do. I guess we'll see with the 53-man roster cut, and this week too. I think I'm going to be looking at linebackers a lot this final preseason game because we'll
Yeah.
see how good they are. Because I
Yeah.
think more starters and second stringers will be playing. But yeah, I think we'll roll with what we have. But
I
I
think we
know
will
that
too.
they're not scared to sign somebody, and I was really pissed off Josh Bynes went to the Panthers because I really would have taken him back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
This is a third linebacker, which sucked.
Now, here's another question. With injuries and everything like that mounting, how concerned are you about the Ravens being ready for week 1 of the regular season?
I'm like 15, 20% concerned. I think that's fair. I think Watkins
Okay.
will be back. I think that's why we're just like letting Hollywood rest, Watkins rest. I think they might play a little bit in the game this weekend, which they should. The starters should play a couple of drives because we saw what happened that playoff game against the Titans when they didn't play.
Right.
I'm not that concerned. Bateman's not going to play. Let's just throw that out. He's not
No,
going to play. Stanley
definitely
said
not.
he's going to play, which is big. I want to see. Hopefully, Stanley can get a drive in. Not sure if he'll actually play.
Yeah.
I want to see our line just all play. That's a big thing. Our offensive line, all 5 of them, just our starting 5. I want to see that.
Yeah. Definitely want to see the starting 5 play for sure. But my thing is, I am very concerned. I'm not going to lie, because you got to think about all the injuries that we've had to our receiving core so far. Hollywood Brown is out. Rashad Bateman is out. Sammy Watkins
Yep.
is out. Those 3 guys right there, that's our top 3.
Deion
Right?
Kane got
That's our
hurt.
top 3. Kane got hurt. Apparently, he just got back, right?
And then Prochet had a little stinger, but he was back the next day. And if he doesn't
Yeah.
make the team, I'm actually going to go to the Owings Mills and riot.
Yeah, but see, my thing is that like all these guys are getting hurt in a time period where nobody's going 100% just yet. That's what concerns
Yeah.
me. Preseason is
Yeah.
where guys are not going 100%. Training camp, guys are not going 100%. You're just trying to get your body ready, get in football shape, get your mind right, that sort of thing. You're not really going all out, but guys are still just dropping left and right like flies. So that's what really concerns me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
is this telling of the Ravens how grueling their training camp is? Because you always hear it's the hardest conditioning test.
Yeah.
From players that play for multiple teams. Maybe it shouldn't be so hard. I mean, these injuries right now is out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And as we know, the Ravens normally start pretty strong in the regular season. They'll go out through the first 5 weeks. They'll go somewhere like 4-1, 3-2, something like that. But at the same time, it doesn't really look like we'll be able to start as fast, at least not through
No.
the air. And that's what concerns me the most. Now, the silver lining in all this is that, hey, we're still the best running football team in the world. So we still have J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Lamar Jackson. If we can control teams like that, we're still going to have Mark Andrews. We're still going to have, guys like Duvernay. They should be out there suiting up. I'm really excited to see what Tylan Wallace can do as well. I'm not going to lie. But
his 2 catches last week were big. I mean,
pretty
showed how good his hands
right?
were. And of course, he drops the easiest one. It was that beautiful throw by Tyler Huntley. That sucked.
Yeah, he should have caught that one. But yeah, man, it's just concerning to me because, like I said, not these guys aren't going 100%. They're already kind of dropping left and right. But again, like I said as well, we are the best running team in football, and I think that we can probably get by, at least until the receiving core gets fully healthy. Until then, yeah.
Especially week 2. That's a test early.
Let's see. We have a couple of questions and comments in here from the Rain Gang. We're talking about the injuries. How much does this concern you guys? Just let us know how you guys are feeling about the state of the Ravens roster right now. Let's see what you guys have here. Don C says, "Hit that like for Sutton and Alex, everyone."
Don
Absolutely
never lied.
right, man.
Listen to Don.
Never lied. Let's see. Devon Johnson says, "T and Keith Williams are working them boys."
Have you seen the reports with Keith Williams?
About him like being real involved with other things too, like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, with the defensive backs, he was showing our Darius.
DBs,
yeah, like their footwork, like that.
That's huge.
But like once again, it won't be told by certain media, but keep it that way.
We know that though. We know. Us Ravens fans are here with it. They might not talk about guys like Keith Williams and T. Martins until like the playoffs when they're just looking for extra stories on teams because they got to really hone in, that sort of thing. But let's see. Dylan Paul says, "Am I the only one not buying the hype of Prochet? He hasn't showed us anything in the preseason games."
I'm buying.
Got solid hands.
I'm still buying. I mean,
yeah.
There, like I said, there was the one time where McSorley threw it to him. He would have caught it. He just overthrew him. Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know.
Prochet with Lamar, man.
Yeah. And let's give Prochet just the opportunity to just run routes because I've said it before. I say it again. Greg Roman is public enemy number 1. I don't like and I got slack for it for taking the preseason too seriously, but what the hell were his play calls, the first drives? Why are you running a read option in the end zone? I get
on our own 3-yard line.
Right, I get you're trying to keep plays away, but if I'm Wink Martindale, please, I know he wants to just beat Greg Roman's ass because that defense has been balling out, and that offense has literally looked high school. I've seen better high school games than it was just terrible. So I don't want to put it on Prochet. I truly still think it's on Greg Roman. I am not a Greg Roman believer, and I'm just tired of him feeding the same BS we were fed last year, how we were going to forge a new identity. And he's added a wide receiver screen to Des Bryant as a new play. I don't trust him whatsoever.
Read option on your own 3-yard line.
It's why you love Greg Roman.
If that's not a head scratcher, I don't know what is, man. And of course, Tyler Huntley just gets blown up in the backfield. That was just embarrassing. Just embarrassing play call, honestly, if you ask me.
And Dobbins they had it read out. It was read out the whole way.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Darius, the official, chimes in, says that LJ4 injury is a big blow for us, but you know what they say, next man up. Yeah, man, and I believe the next man up can definitely make some noise. Like Malik Harrison, Patrick Queen, those guys are definitely going to make some noise this season. J. Rum says shut down defense. Yeah, man. I'll tell you one thing. I think that the secondary, if it can remain healthy, it can be the top 2 and not 2 secondary in the league. And I think our defense as a whole. Yeah, I think our defense as a whole can be top 2 and not 2 when it's all said and done. Because you got to think about our secondary. Our secondary is so good, but look at our D line though. Look at our defensive line, man. Look at Calais Campbell. Look at Justin Matabike, Big Baby. You know what I mean? Derek Wolf. All those guys down there. Broderick, all those guys down there, man. Yeah.
Even what's his name? Chris Smith, I believe, that we got, former Bronco, former Brown. I think he's looked good too. He's had a sack, had a couple of stops. I like it. I'm liking what we see from him. He's looking like our new version of Jihad Ward, who I miss dearly. He even had a sack on Monday, which sucked. But we're just doing it again. We're just finding guys that can step up, and when they're given the playtime, they'll produce. So I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. This defense is going to be huge this season. Huge. Let's see.
And
Our
even
guy
Deshaun
Dan
Elliott,
Wolf.
too. Real quick, Deshaun Elliott played
really
absolutely
well.
disgusting against the Panthers.
Oh, yeah. Excited for him. Let's see. Duvernay Dan Wolf says this might be a hot take, but I think Lamar Jackson is going to have the best start to the regular season in terms of passing.
Damn. Okay, Dan.
That is a hot take because we don't know who's going to be healthy week 1, week 2, week 3. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to go Hollywood, Watkins, Duve. I think those would be our top 3 receivers.
Hollywood, Watkins, and Duvernay. Okay.
I think if Boykin played these first 2 games, maybe he could have slid into receiver 3 if he played well.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on with him.
Nobody knows. It's such a Miles the Mystery Boykin. We never know what's going on.
Can we trademark that? I like that. Miles the Mystery Boykin. That's a great that's probably like a book you had to read in middle school. Mystery Miles.
We just don't know. We never know with him. Like, what's the issue? What's the deal? Like, we see this, how tall is Miles Boykin? Like 6'4", 6'4". Yeah, 6'4", guy, he runs like a 4'4", 4'5", you know what I mean? He's a fast guy, nice frame, just cannot really put it together on the field. We just don't know. So, Miles the Mystery Boykin, ladies and gentlemen. Moving right along here, though.
We have some great names on the Purple Rain podcast.
We do. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for those names because you're going to hear them all season long. Let's see what else we have from you guys. We got B. Ramey chiming in, says, I think the severity of a lot of these injuries are overblown because it's preseason except for Bateman.
Yeah. So let's just talk about some of the injuries. I think I saw Wolf was out. I think he'll be fine. Watkins, I think he'll be fine. McSorley, Harbaugh said he'll be ready, I think maybe even week 1 or 2. But is he worth wasting a roster spot if we can get a guy like Kenji Bahar on the practice squad?
Yeah.
I'm kind of – because our line still isn't really set.
Let's think about it this way. Let's put it this way. So week 1, we play the Raiders. I think we can take care of the Raiders even with a depleted receiving core. I think we can dominate the game on the ground, kind of control the game and on defense as well. Week 2, I think is going to be a struggle. Week 2 is going to be a struggle. If we're not healthy to the point, I don't think we're going to be 100% or even 90 or 85, maybe not even 80% healthy in the receiving core by week 2. So now I do think that we probably lose that game to the Chiefs. If I'm being honest, week 3, who do we play? Can you remind me?
I've watched them in the preseason. Outside of, I know they still have Hill and Kels, but Hardman's look good. Pringles look good, but outside of that, they really haven't been playing good defensive backs. They played the Cardinals. They looked all right. I think it's going to be a lot of rust getting off of these teams. And right now, Mahomes played. He threw a really bad pick. I just think it was just he threw it to throw it, but if anything, it could be go we're playing in week 2 because they might be rusty. But they start off with the Browns week 1, which is a great just starter game for them. So if they win that, I expect them to be ready by week 2. But there could be a little bit of rust on them, a little bit.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see.
Their secondary is a little iffy too. I don't know if L'Jarius Sneed will take that next step. And I think one of their corners is suspended a couple of games. So if Watkins wants to have that revenge game week 2, I'm all for it. But it's kind of like 60, 40, 70, 30 looking the Chiefs' way. But the chance is still there for the Ravens.
Chance is still there. Week 3, I understand we play the Lions. Shout out to Devon Johnson. I think that Goff. I think we can take care of Goff easily. Yeah. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
Whoa. Okay. Hold up.
These are
it
the
wasn't
facts.
all Goff. Their defense was terrible. But
Come
Goff
on.
did throw a pick. Goff didn't look good. They had Todd Gurley, his arthritic knees. All right. Maybe it was
to Marcus Peters.
He was just being nice. The game was over.
Oh, man. So I think we can take care of the Lions. And then week 4, I don't know who we play after that, but Broncos. Okay. Yeah, I think we can take care of those teams.
Think about the top 4 tight ends we play. We play Waller, Kels, Hawkinson, Fant. I think we're gonna have to learn how to cover tight ends real quick, because good tight ends did hurt us last year.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I hope Wink's drawing something up.
Me too. I think that we'll probably see. I forgot Darren Waller's week 1. But then again, I don't know. I feel like our pass rush, I think with the addition of guys like Justin Houston, I think Odafe Owe is going to step up in a big way the first game. I'm calling that right now. I think Odafe Owe gets at least 1 sack in week 1 against the Raiders. Yeah. Justin Houston, I think he may get 1 too. I think it's going to be a defensive clinic week 1. I don't think the offense is going to be firing on all cylinders. We're not going to be there just yet. But that defense will definitely come to save the day week 1, Monday night in Las Vegas. Probably be a low scoring game. I'd say we probably win that game by like maybe 7 to 10 points. But I think the defense controls it.
Let's not get my heart rate already for the first game of the season.
Yeah, you would hope not, but you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes.
This season feels a lot different. Like, I think last year I was ready for the Browns. Like, this Raiders game, I don't know how I'm ready for it. Because they're just a question mark. Like, I know Hunter Renfrow was beaten up on Jalen Ramsey in the slot. Is Willie Snead going to have a revenge game against us? Is Henry Ruggs going to take that year 2 step? It's really weird. Is Josh Jacobs going to be good? It's just really, really weird. But I do think
I'll tell you one thing though, Willie Snead's not having a revenge game against the Ravens.
He scored a touchdown his past what? He scored one in 2018 and 2020, the first games of the year. And he scored his past 3 opening games, he scored a touchdown. Against the Dolphins too.
If Willie Snead has over 50 yards receiving and a touchdown against the Ravens week 1, I'll take like 3 shots of whiskey right here on the Purple Rain podcast. Back to back. Yeah, I will do that.
Oh, you know what? I just want him to win. As long as we win, I don't care. Like, let's just win. But I think if they have that their rookie Leatherberry playing, I think we can just beat up on him. If we beat up on him, we can definitely beat them. Just get the car, because I don't know what the hell Derek Carr is anymore. Like, he's it's just Kirk Cousins in a different uniform.
Right. All right, let's see. Devon Johnson says #3 shots. That's right, 3 shots. You heard it here first on the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. This is episode 67 of the Purple Rain podcast. Let's go ahead and transition to our next topic of the night. Yeah. So recently, this is kind of like an annual discussion we've been having the past couple years, right? They're talking about it again. The media's at it again. This is the year. This is the year, guys. The 3rd starting season for Lamar Jackson. Maybe the 3rd time's a charm. This is the year that they're going to figure him out. That's what we've been talking about, or that's what the media's been talking about for the past couple of days. Figuring out Lamar Jackson. What does that exactly mean? Figuring out Lamar Jackson. Alex, can you tell me what exactly figuring out Lamar Jackson would entail? Because I don't know.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. I don't we hear it all the time. It just makes literally no sense.
No.
You figure him. What does that mean? Does that mean the Ravens just won't be good?
Right.
Because they make it so bland to the point where they're not going to tell you what exactly they'll figure out, because that means you actually have to have some critical thinking involved, and most of these guys don't have any critical thinking. That just talk. Yes, I'm looking at you, Jeremy Fowler, like Mac Jones' busted brother. I don't get it whatsoever. And they said that he can't throw 40 to 50 times a game. No quarterback should be throwing 40 to 50 times a game. You know why? Because since 2018, quarterbacks that have thrown for over 40 attempts, a 30.6 win percentage. That's terrible. I guess they want more Jameis Winstons in the league, more Dak Prescotts, more Matt Ryans throwing when you're behind, then you get the passing yards.
Yeah.
It's starting to just make 0 sense.
It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. And the whole figuring out Lamar Jackson thing, the reason why I asked what does that mean is because what really are you trying to figure out? You're trying to figure out how he's able to make guys look dumb in the open field, how he's able to run by guys. I can tell you what that's about. That's his talent and that's his athleticism, his sheer athleticism. You can't figure that out. You can't figure that out. Like, you can't stop that. Like, I'm sorry, you just can't. It's kind of like if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, for example. You're drinking a lot of alcohol or something like that, and you're drunk. There's no way to just like figure out how to, sober up really quickly. The only thing that can actually sober you up, or the way that you can figure things out or get undrunk, is by waiting. It takes time. Yep. Lamar Jackson, you're going to have to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years when he's not as explosive with his legs in order for you to, quote unquote, figure him out and slow him down in the thing that he does best. That's what I'm saying here. Like, it just doesn't make any sense what they're saying. Like, if I told you, Alex, if I said, yeah, I think this is the year that teams figure out Aaron Rodgers, what would you say? So what do you mean figure out?
Like, figure out? The quarterback who hasn't thrown for 100 interceptions in his career, the one who who you put around him, doesn't matter who you put around him, he'll produce. That Aaron Rodgers, come on now.
It's like, come on, man. Seriously. Like, what are we really figuring out here? I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's see what we have from you guys here in the chat. Then we'll get back to our little rants here. Let's see. Kaylee Sports says teams have tape on Mahomes. Did the league figure him out with an MVP and back-to-back Super Bowl appearances and a Super Bowl MVP to his name? No.
And they're saying him throwing 40-plus passes in a single game. He's done that twice, and one of them was the game against the Titans. It was 59 just attempts. Mm-hmm. So he's thrown, outside of that playoff game, one time 40-plus passes. You're literally just making no sense. Like, you're trying to find a reason to discredit him. I just think of it, just think of like just the best player, and you're like, oh, well, he didn't do this, but he won the championship that year. So why are you trying to find the smallest thing to discredit him? It just makes zero sense. It's just starting to get embarrassing. You're losing credibility at this point.
And I don't know why they say that, like, oh, we're going to figure out Lamar Jackson, when it's like, no, I think if you're going to, every time that the Ravens lose, they say, oh, Lamar's been figured out. But is it really the fact that Lamar's been figured out, or the Ravens offense has been figured out? Because we know how predictable the Ravens offense can be. Alex, on third and less than 3 yards, less than 4 or 5 yards, what are we doing? Right off the top of your head, Yeah,
I don't.
Probably a Lamar run. Exactly. Like, it's so predictable. We all know what's going on here.
You want to know why it's so predictable? Our lovely offensive coordinator. That's right there.
I blame Giro. For all this. Putting that out there. He better come up with a game plan this year that really puts Lamar's talents on display in all facets. Running the football, throwing the football. We need to see all of that, because all this figuring out Lamar Jackson stuff because he doesn't throw the prettiest football, or he doesn't do it the same way, the traditional way that everybody else does it. I don't know. It's stupid to me. He's winning football games. He wins 80% of his games, actually.
Yeah, so, can I give the things that people like Jeremy Fowler can't argue, the stats? Because I just know he didn't ever think about this. So throwing 50 times plus Tom Brady's on it 27 games, 18 wins, 9 losses. Drew Brees, 19 games, 4 wins, 15 losses. Peyton Manning, one of the greatest to ever do it, 16 games. He won 4 of them, lost 12. Our lovely, lovely, lovely elite quarterback, Joe Flacco, 3 wins, 9 losses. Matthew Stafford, 11 games, 1 win, 10 losses. Oh, you know what? Let's get into Super Bowl winners again. Eli Manning did it 10 times, 3 wins, 7 losses. Brett Favre, 2 wins, 6 losses. I mean, only Tom Brady is the only one who has a winning record. Probably because he got bailed out that game, with the Patriots. But it just goes to show that it's never going to be a good thing to throw that many times. It means you're behind. So, Jeremy Fowler, please do better.
Do much better. Much, much better. Let's see. We got a guy, Mod Ramey, in the house. Big shout out to him. Says Giro getting his Duffy this year. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if he's got a nice little bag of tricks. Because that read option on our own 3-yard line, that was not it. That was not it at all. So yeah, we will see. We will see. Let's see what else we have here from you guys about Lamar. Devon Johnson chimes in, says they know Lamar is big business and talent. They love to talk about him for notoriety. I get that. It gets clicks, it gets views, it gets, whatever, engagement.
That's why I don't talk about it no more on there, because it's just kind of just like the Allen Lamar debates. It's just it'll never end because nobody will ever admit they're wrong, which is the biggest problem. People who said Lamar won't succeed, they won't admit that he can succeed doing both things. The same way people want to admit, okay, well, Allen does this better than Lamar, but Lamar does this better. Oh, wow, maybe they're just both good quarterbacks. Nobody will ever admit that sometimes. So that's why it's just don't give your energy to it. It's worthless.
Let's see. KLA Sports chimes in and says the league does not want a dual threat black QB to succeed. Guys like Dak and Wilson and Watson get more praise because they are pass first and not true dual threats, and they are in pass heavy offenses. Now, this is a narrative that has been going around for a long time. Now, Dak and Wilson and Watson, they are more of like I guess you could say like traditional pocket passers, I guess, because they just get more opportunities. They also get more weapons in most cases. Dak's had better weapons than Lamar Jackson. Russell Wilson has had in his entirety of his career better weapons than Lamar Jackson. And, Deshaun Watson had DeAndre Hopkins. So, I get what you're saying here, KLA Sports. Now, I don't know who exactly wouldn't want Lamar Jackson to succeed. I think that they just look at him because like it doesn't look natural. It doesn't look like all the other guys. Like you can compare Dak and Wilson and Watson, the way that they throw the football, the way that they run an offense, it all looks kind of similar. It looks more traditional. The way that the Ravens utilize Lamar Jackson, it doesn't look traditional at all. At all. Like he's never under center.
Why is there a problem,
Exactly.
I get it hasn't worked in the playoffs, but just think about it. The team sold on him. I mean, I know he had the pick six, yes, but the play before, two people missed the block. Yeah. And then even the drop pass, I mean, there was a clip of it I saw on Twitter when he just got out of a crazy, just messed up pocket, throws to J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins drops it. Sam Cook has a really, 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 really bad punt. They're in perfect field position.
Yeah.
You have to have luck in the playoffs too. I don't think people think you have to have luck, health, and just beautiful football played in the playoffs to win a championship. And look at it. The teams who have won the past couple of years, they've just been really, really good health-wise, and also just they've gotten lucky sometimes. Yeah. Buccaneers had that lucky, questionable pass interference call against the Packers.
Oh yeah.
Then the Chiefs, they stopped Derrick Henry.
You're right. Now, what I was going to say, one more thing about it is like I don't think that you can ever figure out a guy like Lamar Jackson or a player like Lamar Jackson just because of how well he plays off of his instincts. Like you can't like scheme for how to like pressure Lamar Jackson the right way because he is faster than everybody else in the field and he can make something out of nothing. Pretty much every time he can do like when the play breaks down, he can make something out of nothing. We've seen that time and time again. And that's what you cannot figure out because the play broke down. Your defensive scheme worked if the Ravens offensive play broke down. But when Lamar Jackson gets out of the pocket, he rolls out, he starts to make plays using his playmaking ability. That's what you can't figure out. You can't figure that out because that's just sheer talent. That's athleticism. And it's Lamar Jackson. He's an X Factor player. You're not going to figure that out. Just like Patrick Mahomes is an X Factor player for his reasons, just like Tom Brady's an X Factor player for his reasons. You're not figuring that out. But people hate it. They hate on it, I'm sorry, because it looks different. They're not used to it. They're scared of it. They're not used to it. Right. Ron TV says RG3 said that on ESPN the other day. Absolutely, yes. And I actually tweeted about that as well.
What about when Trevor Lawrence took that really, really big hit on Monday? Where was that at? Where was the backlash on that? Where's just the backlash been on how poorly run the Jacksonville Jaguars are? There is not because it won't get them clicks. Just think about it. They come after the teams that'll get them clicks. I mean, the Jaguars right now, that's a shit show going on in Jacksonville. I'll be honest with you.
Low key, yeah.
You reached on a running back and Travis Etienne, and that just backfired in your face. Ooh. Trevor Lawrence out here is taking hits like that. I don't know how long he'll be healthy. We said Joe Burrow part 2. But it won't get the clicks for good reason because nobody cares about them. Up here in Baltimore, people care about them. They'll get them clicks.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. All right. Ron TV also says Lamar has fun and plays the game we all played in the backyard. I don't know why people are so against it. Yeah, man. Like I said, it doesn't look traditional. And a lot of those older guys in the NFL who've been watching NFL for a while, those, hey, get off my lawn type guys. You know what I mean? Those guys are the ones who are kind of hating on Lamar Jackson the most. But listen, guys, we're going to go ahead and transition into our next segment of the night, which is our favorite segment of the night, which is going to be the Rain Gang Q&A, where you can ask Alex and I any question that you would like to ask us, whether it be about Ravens football, whether it be about other NFL teams, whether it be about other sports, whether it be about life, food, music, anything else, literally anything that's on your mind. You can ask us right here, right now. If you're in the live chat, if you're not watching the live stream right now and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, big shout out to you and hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may be listening to this. Make sure you leave your comments and questions down below. And also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, or any of those podcast streaming websites, big shout out to you as well. And if you didn't know that you could find us on there, now you know. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into our question segment. Let's see.
Can I get it started real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, so
sure.
It's been a while since we've been on here. And speaking of get off my lawn, if there was a picture of that in the dictionary next to get off my lawn, it would be the owner of the New York Giants, John Mara, because I have a big bone to pick with this man because he is on the NFL committee, and he was saying how the taunting penalty, how it's just not good for the growth of the game, and the younger kids don't need to see it. A big fuck you, John Mara, because you're out here. I don't know how old you are. I'm pretty sure people buy jerseys because these players, they're just so electric. I know me, for one, I would love to get a Tim Anderson White Sox jersey because every time he hits a damn home run, it's a nasty-ass bat flip. I love that in the game. The same way how I love how people would taunt like a Tyreek Hill piece, or even when you get a first down, a flex. That's now a flag. It actually grows your game more. But, keep doing what you do since the franchise has been running your family and it was given to you. But I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it from the standpoint of kids who are growing up who are really into the game of football and really want to get into that competitive nature and grow up to be NFL players. I guess you wouldn't want them seeing that side of the game where guys are literally, the sportsmanship is just less than perfect, Yeah. But that's just life. That's just competition. That's just what happens, It's a very physical game, and you have to be so mentally psyched up to play the game of football. Anybody who's ever played football knows that you have to be mentally there in order to do it.
No matter what age you are, even as a kid.
No matter what age, exactly. No matter what age you are, and sometimes those emotions are going to come out of you. Why? Because we're all human, So I don't understand why, at the end of the day, people are being penalized for being human. As long as it's not excessive, as long as you're not, touching another guy, another player, pulling on his jersey, taunting him in that way, then it's it's cool. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's just a celebration at the end of the day. It's not a taunt. It's a celebration.
And it's always the ones who never played sports in their life talking about it too.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. All right, but let's see what questions we have here from the Rang Gang. First one's going to come from our guy Dylan. He says, when is Hollywood going to be at the fair?
I believe Sunday 1 to 5. You have to buy your ticket online, and it should be there.
Okay. Let's see. We got a guy Gerald in the house. Says, what up, PRP? What up, Gerald?
What's up, Gerald? How you doing?
Gerald in the house. What's up, man? How are you doing? We appreciate you for coming through and joining the stream. Let's see. Ron TV chimes in, says, what made you guys want to start a podcast? It was pretty simple, man. Me and Alex have been watching Ravens football for a long time. Me and him actually, we were on a Engraven stream together. Big shout out to Engraven. This was a couple seasons ago or whatever. And after that, I hit him up. I was like, hey, you want to start a podcast, start a channel? We can talk Ravens football. And here we are, 67 episodes in. So big shout out to my guy Simply AS10. Big shout out to the entire Rain Gang as well. We love and appreciate all of you guys. Let's see. Next question is going to come from Thomas Morgan. Thomas Morgan says, what's the hottest pepper you guys have eaten?
I'm not a big spice guy. I mean, I don't even know the hottest thing I've eaten. I mean, I did that reform challenge at Buffalo Wild Wings one time, but that's not really hot. It was hot, but I haven't. Maybe we should do a forfeit. I have to use the hot a chip. I saw it at Royal Farms the other day. That one chip challenge. I'd
be down to do that. I mean, for me, it was I think it was this was like this small white pepper that I tried over one of my friend's houses one time. I think it was called like a ghost pepper, some sort of ghost pepper. But that thing was hot. When I tell you, like, I ate it and like I was cool for like the first 10 seconds, but after that I just started dying. And the pepper is literally only like that big. Literally only like that big. Like not big at all. So like that thing had some serious power in it. Serious power. Can't remember the exact name, but it was some sort of like ghost pepper though. All right, let's see. Boyd chimes in, says, I feel like Orlando Brown got bailed out by Lamar's athleticism, so we'll see what he's about in Kansas City. What do you think?
Luckily for him, he has a top 2, if not the best quarterback, who can also move around, and Patrick Mahomes behind him. I think he'll do above average. I'm not going to say on the level that he was here because Lamar did bail him out, but it will be fun to watch him.
Yeah,
best
absolutely.
Of luck to him.
Best of luck to OBJ.
And in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Jabari Cruz Ellis says, do y'all think that our return game will be better than last season?
If Duve is back there, of course. 100%.
Duvernay. Yeah. Is Duvernay, and there's who else now who's like who's returning for us?
I believe Devin Gray was back there.
Gray. Okay. Yeah. Got you.
I actually did see a comment from Ramey. The Purple Rain Fantasy League. So yes. I believe it's a 12-person league, correct?
It is.
And we already have 6 people. So we have 6 more spots.
6 spots remaining. So, wait, is Ramey already in the league? Did he already join?
No, he's not.
So, okay. All right. So we've got 5 to 6 spots remaining in the Purple Rain Fantasy League. So make sure if you guys do want to be in the fantasy league, I think the best way for you to make sure that you are in the league, please send us a DM. For this one, don't do the comments. Just send either me or Alex a DM on Twitter or Instagram, or you can send a DM directly to the Purple Rain Podcast Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast if you want to be in the Purple Rain Fantasy League this season. Because the league is already made. We're just waiting for the teams to fill out. So yeah.
And the links
all right. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna go ahead and keep going here. Take a couple more questions from the Rain Gang. Let's see. Kaylee Sports says, let's place bets. Who gets penalized more, the Ravens offense for illegal formation or Marcus Peters with the new taunting rule?
Illegal formation. We get it like once or twice a game. And then if we're not illegal formation, we're about to get a delay game. We're at 1 second on the play clock. Please fix that up. Please.
Yeah. Right. So let's see. What else we have here from the Rain Gang? Don C chimes in. This one's for you, Alex. Says, how long does it take for you to do one of your highlight videos on average? Because we love them, bro. We do.
Okay, so the DK Metcalf one I just put out on Instagram and Twitter, DeKalen Zacharias, God bless him. That took me about 2.5 hours for 56 seconds.
Wow.
And then for a normal one, for my favorite one, I think I've done with Sammy Watkins. That one for Instagram and Twitter took me about 3 hours. But like for YouTube video, my favorite one on YouTube is probably Deshaun Elliott. That one was about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Or a 4 minute,
Wow. 4.5 hours. Goes to show, man, that video editing is no joke, man. It's not easy stuff. Not easy work at all. It's very tedious. Very, very tedious. I can say that myself. Yeah. But all right. Moving along here. Kimberly Harmon chimes in. Shout out to you, Kimberly. We appreciate you for leaving your question. Says, do you think the Ravens are going to beat Washington this Saturday? Yes or no? In short, yes. Absolutely.
Yes. It's actually going to be a great – I hope Montez Sweat and Chase Young both play. Yeah. I want to see if our line can hold up against them. Probably not, but I still want to see.
Definitely want to see. Let's see what they can do. Test those guys out. I definitely think the Ravens will take care of business against Washington. I feel like it's going to be probably a turnover fest coming from them. I feel like we'll force at least 2 or 3 turnovers, and we'll win the game that way just by controlling time of possession, things like that. It was funny because my friend Terrence from Mallory Bros podcast, he actually reached out to me on Twitter today and was saying, yo, man, like, we're about to end that streak. He's actually a Washington football team fan. He's like, yo, man, we're about to end that streak or whatever. I ain't forget about you. I'm like, I think I got Ravens by like 20, honestly. So, yeah, we'll see about that one.
Who's your starter? Is it Heineke or Fitzpatrick?
I think it's going to be Fitz starting. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be Fitz.
Okay.
So let's see. Moving along here, we'll just take a few more from you guys. Let me go ahead and scroll down, get to some of these ones. Jabari Cruz Ellis has another question for Alex. Says, "Are you going to do another hype video before the season starts?"
We'll see. If anything, it'll be for like Instagram and Twitter, but we'll see. Maybe not. We'll see. I start school next week, so I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Adit Mahmood says, simply, thoughts on the Orioles now having the number one farm system according to MLB Pipeline and second in Baseball America. We also have the top overall prospect. It's tough now, but it will get better.
We're a free win for some teams, unless you're the Angels, but there's actually a process. I'm seeing we're working. Under Duquette, it didn't work. Under Elias, I'm seeing something. So hopefully one more bad year, then we can be back, hopefully.
All right, let's see. Next question comes from Darius the Official. Says, do you guys even see James Prochet getting 15 plus catches for this season? The way they use him, I just don't see it. I see him getting 15 plus catches this season easily, only because I feel like the depth at wide receiver won't be there, for him to not get on the field. He's going to have his opportunities this year, I feel like. And he's shown it in training camp. He's been all the talk of the town in training camp. I know these coaches want to give him an opportunity. I think he's going to have 15 plus catches.
Oof. I think he will. I think Tylan Wallace will be this year's James Prochet. I think he'll be like, why isn't he on the field more? So I can see him getting 15 plus catches. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Don C says, I'm a food guy. What is your favorite food joints in your neighborhoods? I'm all over and would love to find a new place to get some good eats.
Okay. It's a good question.
Yeah, it is. For me, I will say I've been really into burrito tacos. It's like braised beef and like in a taco with like cheese and other crap too. But there's a couple of good spots that I go to that I really like. One of them is a Little Minor Taco, and I know they actually have a food truck that goes like all around Maryland. So wherever you live, if you do live in Maryland, you can get some of that. They also have a couple different locations as well. That's a Little Minor Taco. There's also this one place in DC that I go to that sells burritos called the Well Dressed Burrito, and they're super good as well. Really good prices too at both places. Well, not at both places. The Well Dressed Burrito has better prices than Little Minor Taco, but both of those would be my two spots. What about you?
I haven't been eating out a lot. I was doing food trucks around me for a while. I'm not gonna name. Sorry, Don. If anybody else knows place, drop them in the comments if you know. I'm not good with it. If I think of it, I will say it.
Yeah. Let's see. Don C says, had it Sutton. It's a great joint. Devon Johnson says, I've been seeing Little Minor on the gram a lot. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty popular. Let's see. Joshua Barrowy says, sorry, you guys might have mentioned it before, but is Justice Hill making this squad?
As of right now, man. Yes.
I think he is, though. Special teams.
Special teams. Oh, my gosh. Jinx. He's so good as a gunner. And that's what really is just taking him above, for me, Williams and McCrary. But unless those guys have been playing some special teams, they could overtake him. But right now, I think Justice Hill still is running back 3.
Yeah. Let's see. Asmodeus Donatos chimes in with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Asmodeus. We appreciate you. He says, what's up, y'all? Hashtag McChickens. Yeah, man, that's what we're taking our dollars to. Mickey D, so we can get that McPick 2, like Void said, for those McPick chickens. McPick chickens. Hashtag McPick chickens. All right, let's see.
Say that like 10 times fast.
McPick chickens, McPick, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take one more question here. This one is going to come from, you know what? F it, man. Void.
Who else?
We got you.
Who else?
We got you. If someone mixed the last dab, Carolina Reaper, Ghost Pepper, and a habanero into a gallon drink, and if you drink the gallon, you get $50 million, would you do it?
Does that be like, what's the span we're talking about?
A gallon drink. This is a gallon, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
what? Money talks.
Money talks, and 50 million is a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money.
What could it do to your body? You know, that's enough. Can I get some cool advice, please?
My question is, will this kill me?
I think it will.
Right.
I think this right here might. I don't know.
That might take me out. Yeah. That might take me out. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, man, I'm not sure. I think I would do it. I think just for the sake of answering the question, I would do it because $50 million is a lot of money. I can do a lot of things with $50 million. So I'm gonna say, yeah, why not? F it. We're gonna do it. Yeah. Boz says 50 mil. I don't care. Shout out to Boz, by the way. Mod Boz. We
Who
appreciate
is
you.
in the Fantasy Football League.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just saw somebody say that they DM'd us about getting in the league. So like we said, again, if you do want to be in the Fantasy Football League, either DM myself at Sutton Def on Twitter or Instagram. You can see it right there. You can also either DM Simply AS10 on Instagram at simplyas10.prod, or on Twitter at simplyas10prod, PROD. Or, like I said before, you can also scan that QR code that's right above my head up here. Up there, it'll take you to the actual Purple Rain Podcast Instagram page. You can also DM that account as well, and we will get you in the fantasy league. We got about 4 to 5 spots left. They're filling up quick. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that if you want to be in the fantasy league. So I think we're going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for the questions that you put in. We still have about almost 80 people watching live right now. So big shout out to all you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like video. Hit the like, not the like video. I always say the like video. Hit the like button on the video. And we appreciate you guys so much. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, because more Ravens content is on the horizon coming from the Purple Rain Podcast. And the season is also on the horizon, is just in a couple weeks. So make sure you stick around, stay locked into BRP, because we will be covering all that good stuff. With that being said, I'm going to let our guy Alex take us out for the night.
Thank you for coming through to the episode 67 of the Purple Rain Podcast. I am Simply ASN. That is Sutton Def. Just drop a like if you're here. Drop a like. We have a game on Saturday, our final preseason game. We'll be back next Monday. We'll talk all things Ravens, Washington football team. But yeah, until then, stay positive, test negative.
Yeah, and most importantly, make sure you always call God. We're going to catch you